should be coming up on the board. We could easily do, you know, we didn't even get to the second question. We could easily do another whole period. We don't have that kind of time. And it's harder with a whole answer. I've done this with thesis statements before, and obviously that's a lot simpler, right? So what I'd like you to do, okay, and I'm going to explain in just a second, then you can write it down. Right? Now, just go wait with me here, okay? I'd like you in the next 5 minutes before you leave. If you don't finish, that's fine, because we're going to deal with it next class. But first, an honest response, an honest answer. Will work we did over the last few classes change the way you might compose short answers? Why or why not? Okay? What questions do you still have about writing short answers? Okay, that's what I'd like you to work on for the next few minutes. When you come in tomorrow, I'd like you also to have done this. Edit, just like you were doing, one answer from B2, the second question, from the ones on the front, and one from the ones on the back, so that you're spreading it around. You're perfectly okay to share ideas with each other just like you did now. And I want you, that says 1 to 6, the other class had 6. We only have 5. We had 5 groups. So for both questions, I want you to rank them. 1 being what you think is the best answer, down to 5, which is right the least best answer. Will be politically correct. Okay? That makes sense what I want you to do? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. So take the next few minutes to start at least on the, before you go. Put it right, you can put it in your notebook or you can put it right on the sheet. You can put it right on the packet. And then make sure you have that for class next time, which will be tomorrow. You can keep your Post-its or throw them out. I'll get rid of them if you want me to. Thank you. You want that for a souvenir? No?
No.
If you don't have any questions, can you just say NA?
Say again?
If you don't have any questions, do you have to
Just,
write any?
just no question,
Okay.
right? But say, write no question just so that I know you haven't skipped it. You keep those. Okay, you can finish up. We're packed up. The bell's going to ring in 20 seconds or so. Just make sure you have that stuff. We're going to focus.
Doesn't it
It's
say
not
on-
until 10 o'clock.
Oh man, I was thinking, I don't know why. I was thinking 50, so we have actually plenty of time.
That's the afternoon one. So always miss them up.
So I just cut it short by a full. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes to finish the part 1 and 2, and then I've got something that we can do for 5 minutes before the bell. So take 5 more minutes. Here I was thinking the bell was about to ring. So that you should have no problem finishing 1 and 2. When you're done with that, you can just relax. We got something else we'll do. Bless you. you all have the actual questions and the assignment for tonight? Can I turn it off? We good? Countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's stop. You got those the first two done? You got the first two? And then you got the first two questions done? Are you good? Looks like everybody is done with this, am I correct? First two questions? Okay, well, since the whole point of those were to get you to think about the class, and since I ended it early, we can do it now instead of tomorrow, and that saves us time for the timeline tomorrow. So, I asked an honest question, I want an honest answer. Okay? I'm not going to make you, but I'd love to hear volunteers. Does what we've been doing, part 1, part 2, part 3, this is now sort of the, post 3 discussion, but did what we've done over those last 3, is that going to change what you do, how you go about your business for writing short answers?
Yes.
Comments about why? Yes or no? Anybody want to, Dante?
Like I learned that it doesn't have to be very long to like get the point across and make it like an essay.
Okay, so you're going to focus on precision and, right? Okay, well,
The way that we learned how to format it, rather than just kind of saying, these are my 3 points, like restating it the way that we formatted it, made more sense.
I realize mine are too short.
interesting. So, too short, not to put you on the spot, but when you say that, what do you think is missing?
Detail analysis.
Okay, so not the facts, but explaining why you gave these facts in the answer. Great, terrific.
I realize mine are usually too long.
So you got to
Yeah.
pare it down.
I'm too afraid that they'll not get my point, so I just kind of overanalyze.
I don't know if you wrote this, if any of you wrote whether you have a question, but already in periods 4 and 9, one of the common questions I'm getting is, how do I draw the line? Where's the line between too much and not enough? Right, for a short answer? Because you're supposed to be brief, you're supposed to be precise, right? It's an exercise in restraint, but you're supposed to answer the question. Is that a concern? You feel like that's... So the other part of that is, how many of you have had run into this problem? Because I have as a student myself, not knowing how much I can assume the teacher, how much can we assume is known by the class, and how much has to be explained, right? That's also, you run into that problem, okay? Any thoughts on when in doubt for either of those questions, what you can do? Because they're related, aren't they?
Well, I just explain.
Louder.
I just explain if I think they don't know it at all, just because it can't hurt other than just making it too long. It's better to not assume.
Yeah, I think you err on the side of making it longer than it might need to be, than shorter, because then there's no doubt. The only danger of that is if I tell you you have to write 3 short answers in 30 minutes, right? And you write 2 really good, maybe a little too long, and run out of time for the third, that's a problem, right? So you've got to also keep in mind how much time you have to write it. Does that make sense? But when in doubt, it doesn't hurt to be too long, unless someone says, after 2 paragraphs, I'm not reading it, right? Unless you get a restriction, then, err on the side of caution. But then be confident that your answer gives enough information, right? Be precise and it'll do that. Other.
Something that we touched, I have something like different.
Yep, go ahead.
Something that we touched upon that in some of my other classes we've never really talked about was like addressing any like any disagreements that people have with it, which I thought was really helpful.
Yeah. And in these questions, there's not much to disagree about. There's not really a controversy. You could, because the question was open-ended enough. It didn't say pick the three. Then there could be arguments that you'd need to say, while some people might say, right, that X is important. Since we didn't do that, you don't have to, right? But if I said, and there's no short answer, but what if this was a short answer on the test? Did the Americans win or the British lose the Revolutionary War? Then, right, a good answer would answer the question, provide evidence, and be done. An excellent answer would choose the side, provide the evidence, and then do what? Yeah, point out why the other side's not, right? Why? Yeah, you could argue that this, but outweigh it or undermine it, say why it's a problem, right? So Emily, that's a good point. Other thoughts on the process?
Like, I don't know, just like correcting like other people's work. Like you could be like, wow, like when somebody pointed out something on the first one we were correcting, like you could like reflect on your response and be like, maybe I did something similar in mine. Maybe I should change that and for my next response.
Yeah,
So you know, like
that's the hope. A couple of people, as I was walking around, were looking at their own answer and seeing with new eyes, right, with fresh eyes. And I was saying to a few people, that's why if you can get it done before the deadline, when you're doing writing, put it away, walk away from it, come back 20 minutes later, an hour later, a day later, and look at it again. You've got a better job of, you can do a better job of editing because you're not in a hurry, you're not in a rush. But that, yeah, that's, I'm hoping by this to get you to reflect on that too, for sure, for sure.
This is just in general, like, not only ours, but some people, I think, like, a lot of us tried to sound, like, complicated, make it sound sophisticated, but it kind of came out as awkward, so, like, looking at, like, a good, well-written example would kind of help.
Yep, boom, just direct it to the point. It doesn't hurt to have rhetorical flourish, it doesn't, the good narrative, all that stuff's good, but you also gotta make sure the short answer, right, you gotta get to the point, answer the question, right? Don't pack up, we're not done, right? We already were almost done 5 minutes ago, we'll be done in a second. Emily?
I think it's really helpful to like see someone else's answer and to see like a different perspective on the same question that you answered, because like there's something that maybe you didn't think about that once you see their answer, you think about it more and it makes a lot more sense.
We're not, after I ask you to rank them, I'm asking you to rank them for that very reason. I want you to think about your answer in relation to the ones you see that your classmates did. We're not gonna do a little contest, rank them all in front of everybody. That's not the point, right? But I do want to, tomorrow, part of what we'll do is, what do we all think was the best answer for the first one? What do we all think is the best answer for the second one? That I do think is worth taking a moment to think about. And then we're going to move on, okay? Good work today, folks. Good work, okay? So you got 5 seconds? You can pack it up. So, what do you think? Adios. Okay, and you are, tomorrow you're not even going to be in school.
I'm leaving at 5.
Okay, so, having settled, I had my county college final exam. I teach a course there last night. So I haven't finalized the test. I'm willing, when I finalize it later today.
Have a good day.
You too. Can you come by at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Okay. If for some reason it's not finalized,